10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is September 27th and we're going to start with this horrible news here that RPL price and ETH price have both gone to zero. Buy everything. No, Vaka's bot here were kind of, as Sneaky says, got drunk, and because of that was showing that the RPL and ETH price in USD was zero. So yeah, that was kind of led to some nice jokes in trading about how it's all over, go home. But then other people started getting ideas about how we should be buying the dip. And Halulu says at least our ETH is still worth 8% more than zero. And then Sneaky says, Vaka, your bot might be drunk. And then Ramana says, can I buy infinite RPL now? And so that was a little glitch on the bot. And it looks like Val was like, he wants to buy $0 ETH. Non-fungible Yoakum says he wants to buy $0 RPL, but he'll even pay a small premium. So he's rich, obviously. And I said, yeah, why not both? So let's get all that RPL and ETH. Of course, it's not really zero, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on to this right here. What we have is the biweekly update that Maverick pushed overnight. Or yesterday actually, and it says that the REIT supply has increased by 0.7% to 529,643, which is annualized growth of 19%. So it's quite flat recently. The active mini pool count has grown by 0.4%, which is annualized growth of 11%, and that's at 25,232 right now. The node operator count increased by 1.3% to 3,242, which is annualized growth of 34%. With Smart Node, work is continuing on version 2 of the Smart Node stack, and then there's info about Blocknative that I'm going to talk to you all about next. With R&D, the team was back from Singapore, and work on Houston has returned full speed ahead, including the PDAO treasury management and security council design. So that's really interesting. And then there's refreshed graphics continue to be added to the new website. And then other ongoing work includes our ETH reward calculator, API, and snapshot dual strategy vote research. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now. With governance here, we have discussions are continuing about voting power, including maximum effective cap and where it should start. So there's lots of different discussions that are ongoing there. There was discussions about GMC member stipends, and then Dr. Worm joined the IMC. The GMC decided to allocate some funds towards LUSD every month, 20% of the money that comes in. With integrations, there's integration with R, Libra, DeFi Saver, Gamma, Notional version 3, this Pith, Chainlink have a price feed on Optimism for RPL USD, and Zero Liquid announced that they will integrate our ETH. With the media marketing, there was a whole lot going on in Singapore in person. Langas did lots of presentations, including this one in ETH Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur. And then Chainflow started a Rocket Pool node, community call guests from Sega, and live Singapore update and bi-weekly update overview from Langas. Metronome published content about looping our ETH to create a leverage staking strategy. However, do your own research first. And then Rocket Pool was featured in a positive light as part of ongoing widespread discussion about liquid staking impact on Ethereum security. And then Masari had a lot of coverage of Rocket Pool as part of their latest Ethereum staking analysis. So of course, that links to my tweet, that's nice. As you read the bi-weekly, of course, that's then covered in the community call, which, the Twitter space, which happened yesterday. There was some really nice piece of information that was shared in there. Langas gave some really good info about a whole bunch of different topics. A couple of them that were of big interest was the hiring of a new senior developer, and that position has gone through negotiations and all the legal stuff, and now it is with the contract has been sent to the candidate, and hopefully that should be signed very soon, and we'll get more information about that soon. Langas was asked if the person who's being hired is someone that we know, and he kind of dodged the question a little bit, so there might be some exciting news there about that. But otherwise, that was a really nice piece of news, because we haven't really had an update about that in a while. Langas was telling us about how the reason why we didn't get an update was because we were struggling with being Singapore and all that stuff, for the team. So that's kind of where we stood. But with the other piece of news that came through was, of course, the website updates that are happening really nicely, and people are getting a chance to look at that now. So that's really cool. And then alongside that, there was another update that I really thought was interesting, which was that Jasper asked the team where, if they're going to make any kind of statement about the tokenomics changes that might be voted on soon. And Nanga said that the team will be staying out of that discussion for now, at least, but maybe forever. I'm not sure. I need to go back and listen. But, he made it quite clear that the team was just going to let the community do its thing, which I think is really interesting. Okay, next we have this post that Maverick put together, on the website, and on the protocol updates. And the main thing that he was talking about here was that Blocknative MEV boost relay is being switched off, and that is happening now today, very soon, 43 minutes from when I'm recording. And it says here is the advice to all node operators: the Blocknative relay will return a 503 error with no builder bid. Ensure your validators are connected to multiple MEV boost relays. You have local building enabled. Remove the Blocknative relay from your validator configurations, and you can read more here. So of course, the smart node stack will help you do all of that. If you are only using Blocknative relay, then make sure that you have others activated as soon as possible. I guess it's kind of late now. You should have, I guess it should be okay for most people, because I think most people have more than one relay turned on. But just in case that you didn't know that, then you should definitely keep that in mind. And then here as well, we have the update from actual Blocknative, saying after considerable internal debate and consultation with our board of directors, effective Wednesday, that's today, Blocknative will suspend our MEV boost relay and associated Ethereum block builders. Our relay data API will remain available for data downloads until October 4th, 2023. So get that information if you need it. Okay, next we're moving on to the vote.rocketpool.net website. And for those who have been watching Rocket Fuel every day, a few weeks ago we talked about there being some contention around RPIP 4 and what the intention of that was, and when people would or wouldn't be able to vote in Rocket Pool related votes on Snapshot. And basically the idea was that you would be able to vote, or you would only be able to vote if you had between 10% and 150% collateral on your node. And then there was a period of time when people who had less than 10% were able to vote as well. So there was some confusion about who could and couldn't vote going forwards. So the idea is now that we know there will be a vote where people will say that they it should be 0 to 150% or 10 to 150%. Here you have two test votes for that, showing the different voting weights depending on what people's collateral rates are. So here, this is one of them where this is the one where people have slightly less weight. So for example, this is a 10 to 150%. So people voted for, against, abstain, and they're just kind of getting the test out. And Joe says, I reject your reality and substitute my own. And Baldov says there's like a link to Discord. Object says, I demand a pull up for this. And I said, of course, yes. And then with the other one, there's really interesting stuff here because I voted against this one, but it doesn't really make a difference. Of course, it's just a test, and I said that of course against. Valdorf says number is bigger, but I have no clue if percentage is bigger. Joe says that's a lot of voting power, and then Object says almost double the voting power. Let's go. So this is the one from 0 to 150%. And as you can see, like, people who have a lot of people delegating to them with who are below 10% now, their voting power has increased dramatically. Like, for example, here there's Valdorf's voting power went up to 1,100 from around 750, I think, or 800, something like that. And Objects went up to nearly 300. Let's just see what they were before. Yeah, so Valdos before was 791 and Objects was 155. So they've made some big differences for people who've got a lot of votes delegated to them. But it's going to be really interesting to see how the community decides on this. We'll be talking about it in the weeks to come for sure. Okay, next we have some information here about tonight's rewards and the tree generation. Here Joe says that rolling records are going to be turned off for the rewards interval that's taking place today, and he says that they found a dumb bug related to some nonsense and they're off by one mini pool. And he says whoever owns that, congratulations, you broke the system. And Joe says if anyone submits uber fast, they didn't turn them off and they get a lump of coal in their stocking. And then Dookie says, is that Butter's fault again? And Joe says, nah, Butter and I independently implemented the same bug. Imagine my surprise debugging when I was like, wait, what if beacon chain itself is wrong? And lo and behold, and he says, here's the TLDR. And then, yeah, so there's some stuff basically that is kind of messing it up. And then you he says that here there's well, let me try to figure this out for you all. So he says there's this guy and there's into beacon chain. He says try solo migrating and got scrubbed for taking too long, but the mini pool is still on chain and registered that public key. And then he tried again and this time it worked. So now there are two mini pools with the same public key, and that breaks rolling records. And by breaks I mean rolling records say each mini pool gets 0.00000027 more ETH than they should, since they don't count that validator. And the dissolve one comes first, so I ignore that public key. So they just need to like fix the small bug, and once that's fixed, I guess then next month it should all be okay. So yeah, I'll definitely let you all know how that goes. Okay, talking about rewards now, it looks like there was a whale friend of ours right here who was eager to make sure they got more rewards going forward. And yesterday they staked 149,000 RPL. So that was that was pretty monumental. I think what I like to think is that this person was watching Rocket Fuel yesterday, and me talking about the person who staked 400 ETH of RPL, and it was like, psh, that's chump change. Let's really go big. So this person deposited 2,048 ETH worth of RPL. Let's poke around the node a little bit and see what's going on. So one of the things that really jumped out to me right away is that this person's voting delegate is me. So thank you. That's really nice. Another thing was really funny is that this person had previously staked 69,420 RPL. So I think this person is definitely in it for the memes. But now there's nearly 220,000 RPL on this node, which is a phenomenal amount of RPL on one node. So congrats, whale person. Yeah, they're running 261 mini pools. I don't see any more mini pools being active, so I think the person was just trying to like get back to maximizing their ratio for the snapshot that's taking place. So yeah, that's a pretty nice little a story that came out yesterday. And it tends to happen right before rewards, that people kind of reconfigure their node allocation to try to get above the amount that they need to stake. So talking about that, the snapshot was taken for the ratio that you need the snapshot for the current RPL ETH ratio was taken going into the next rewards period, and this is the number that will be used for seeing who is under and over collateral. So that ratio is 0.01362, and the way that works then is if you have less than 223 RPL of collateral for your LEB8, or if you have under 149 RPL collateral for your mini pool 16, then you won't be earning any rewards this period. So this gives you over 12 hours now to make sure that you can add RPL to make sure that you're at the right rewards level, so you get some rewards tonight. Because if you are under collateralized, if you're under 10%, then you won't be getting any RPL rewards tonight. Of course, you'll still get your ETH rewards. So speaking about Beacon Chain, Beacon Chain, Butter here was in trading and saying that there's some optimizations coming to the Beacon Chain website. One of those is that there's going to be a new dashboard, and it'll have a heat map of attestation effectiveness and things like that. So we'll have rewards, efficiency, underperformers, duties, heat map, deposits, withdrawals, and hardware monitor as well. And then the Butter was giving some more as well. He was saying that the new dashboard as well will allow you to have sub dashboards and dashboards for multiple wallets. So it'll let you really put your let you get a lot more control over what you're seeing with your staking, and there's going to be some nice updates coming for the Beacon Chain website. So that's cool, Butter. Thanks for sharing those. Yeah, so we just covered that. Okay, now some non-Rocket Pool news. Here we have the Ethereum Validator queue is now down to under 7 days. Let me just see if I refresh it, if it'll show 6 days. Oh, 7 days and 5 hours. So someone just staked a whole bunch of ETH because that went up to 7 days and 5 hours instead of being 7 days, what it was just a minute ago. But that means that if anyone wants to bond reduce, tomorrow would be the absolutely perfect time to do that, because you'll have all your ETH rewards for the period that's just finishing today, but you'll only be missing a few days of ETH rewards while you're going through the queue, which I think the whole process will take 10 or 11 days at most now. And then, you won't miss any RPL rewards as well. And the great thing about this is that the gas prices are so low that it just makes sense now to bond reduce from mini pool 16s down to LEB8s. There was some talking in trading yesterday about whether Thomas might or might not do that. Thomas just got his Proteus from Joe, so I wouldn't be surprised if Thomas unstakes half of his ETH and then moves that over to a new node and then bond reduces all of it into LEB8s. I don't know if that's going to happen for sure. I have no insider information. That was just some speculation that was going around trading yesterday. Okay, we have some news from DIVA here, where Toast shared some information about a DIVA vault that has opened, and basically if you deposit ST-ETH into that, once DIVA moves forward onto their mainnet, they will convert that ST-ETH into the DIVA ETH, and by doing that they will they'll give themselves a bit of a boost in terms of TVL in the beginning. Here you can see the pool that they're using. They've got 900 ETH in there already, or 900 ST-ETH in there already. So that is something, and people who deposit in there now will start earning DIVA token rewards at some point. So this person here, asked Toast, hey, what's the point of earning DIVA rewards if like it's not tradable, it's not worth anything. And then Toast says DIVA protocol is a staking LSD network that uses distributed validator tech as its backbone, and he says the governance token has yet to be tradable, but it will be. But in the meantime, it's used for governance voting. So right now you'll just get power to governance voting. However, it says it will be tradable. And of course, we all knew that this was going to happen. Those of us who vote on DIVA know that after 10 weeks of the token launch, we can vote on making it tradable. If that vote comes up right now, I will vote against making it tradable. I don't think it should be tradable until like leading up to the protocol launch, and at the moment we have no date for that. So that's kind of where we stand with all this different stuff. And I'm going to end today's episode here. So thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.